welcome to the Champ Show. I'm your host, Isaiah Davis. I'm here with quarterback at MTSU, Nick Vattiato. How are we doing today, Nick?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I believe we reached out to you. Well, it was probably a long time ago, but then we reach out with Ethan Media. You guys should go follow him. I am Ethan Media. Go check him out. He reposts a lot of our stuff. I don't know how in the world Ethan gets all these numbers, so he's got like a lot of people on MTSU.
Dude, Ethan's a great dude. He does a ton of stuff for all of MTSU athletics, and he's a good friend of mine. I always see him around, but he's just a great dude all around. So shout out to Ethan.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we do a little bit of research here. Tell us if anything is wrong. You are 6'1", 206 pounds, and you are a redshirt junior quarterback at Middle Tennessee State University.
Sounds about right.
And you played at University School in high school. Does that sound right? Or you played at
Yes.
and then
in Fort Lauderdale, yep.
And then the season was canceled due to COVID, so you played your senior year at TRU Prep.
Yeah, True Prep Academy is where we played our senior year at, me and the rest of the guys.
Got you. And that's in Miami Gardens, Florida.
Correct.
And you led TRU Prep Academy to the state championship as well.
Yeah, that was kind of a wild year, how it all played out, but it ended up going really well for all of us. We got to play like a lot of good teams. Got to play against St. Thomas. Got to play IMG Academy.
Oh yeah.
So it ended up working out, and we enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, and you were a 3-star recruit coming out of high school, 116th quarterback, and 251st in the state of Florida. And you're actually invited to the Florida Georgia All-Star game. How was that?
It was good. I mean, I think anytime you get invited to a game that involves players from the entire state of Florida, or just multiple states, getting to be around players from all across the country and getting to know guys, it's always special, and you kind of create friendships, and obviously you get to compete and everything, but you start to meet new guys, and obviously you'll run into them as you go throughout your career, and you start to make friends. But it was really fun. I mean, just getting to play with guys from all over. And I mean, especially in Florida, there's just so much talent everywhere. That it's always a good time. We always have fun, and I might be a little biased, but I think best football players come out of Florida. So that's just me.
What were some of the players you got to meet?
I mean, I've known a lot of these guys for a long time, but like, just guys like Yule Keith Brown, who's at Tulane. I was able to play 7-on-7 with Mario Williams, who is also at Tulane right now. He was at USC for a couple years. And, even guys I was fortunate enough to play high school football with, like Marcus Tate is a offensive lineman at Clemson. Ricardo Hallman's a DB at Wisconsin. My first 2 years of high school, I played football with Zay Flowers. I got to throw Zay Flowers the football. And I mean, he just came off of like one of the best rookie seasons, I think a Ravens receiver has probably had in a long time. And, that kid is just, everything he does is special. But, and I mean, I could go on and on, but like, I've just been very fortunate, I think, to play with a ton of great players. And, just even outside of football, you build friendships and stuff like that. And it's really special. It's really special, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Do you still keep up with Zay Flowers?
Here and there. I mean, listen, he's a busy man, but here and there, we'll keep in touch, and I'm just proud of him getting to see what everything he's been doing. Just super happy for him.
And we got a list of offers here, long list here. You had offers from UAB, FAU, Appalachian State, Kentucky, Kent State, USF, Holy Cross, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Harvard, Ohio, Miami of Ohio, FIU, and MTSU. Where in the world did the Kentucky offer come out of? Like, that's a little out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was a sophomore, and I want to say it was their running backs coach at the time. His name was Eddie Gran, and I met him, and he's a great man. just great person, good football coach and all that. And I met him and I talked with him a lot. And then I ended up going up to one of their camps over the summer. I was I was going into my junior year. That summer, I was going into my junior year. I went up to a camp, took a visit, participated in their camp, got to meet some of the other coaches. And, it went well. And, I mean, obviously I had the offer and that was still very early on in my recruiting process. And, it was still all new to me and, it was all still taking off. And then obviously the following year is kind of when COVID happened. So, the recruitment process kind of took a turn just because, everything kind of got all thrown off with COVID. But, the recruiting process was, I'm sure any high school kid will tell you, it was fun, but it was stressful at the same time. But, no, it was cool getting to talk to a bunch of coaches from all across the nation and getting to know them. And, you also build relationships with them too. So you never know when you might run into a coach or something like that.
Oh, yeah. And you end up signing with MTSU, and in your 3 years at MTSU, you've played in 20 games where you recorded 431 completions and 645 attempts for 4,432 yards and 30 touchdowns for as long as 72 yards. And I'm pretty sure that last 72-yarder, was that last year?
It might be. I'm trying to think of the longest throws I've had. I know the touchdown to Elijah last year versus Jacksonville State was pretty long. It might have been that one.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that one. I'm trying to think of other long ones I had. My first career touchdown to DJ Chisholm was decently long, but I don't think it was 72 yards. And then I had a couple long ones to Holden Willis last year too.
Mm-hmm.
But it might have been that one to Elijah that I'm thinking of versus Jacksonville State. But yeah, all good memories for the most part.
And not just passing stats here, we've got you're also, I would say, a dual threat from the stats we got here. You ran the ball 188 times for 437 yards and 2 touchdowns for along 30 yards. So are we a dual threat quarterback here?
Man, I appreciate you calling me a dual threat. I would if the opportunity is there to make a play with my legs, I like to be able to make a play. I think it just adds a different dimension, I think, for your team.
Oh, yeah.
I think when the defense has to respect the quarterback run game, it adds something to their plate. I think I've evolved as a runner, through my years of playing football. I think it wasn't something I did a ton in high school, and it wasn't something I was probably very good at either. But, I think I learned a lot from, my freshman year, sophomore year. I watched Chase Cunningham. I watched how he was able to use his legs, and then quarterbacks like DJ Riles, who we used a lot last year, not in the form of a quarterback, but also in the form of a receiver, a running back. He was so good with the ball in his hands that I learned a lot about, how to kind of run the football from him. And then our quarterback coach, Brent Stockstill, just learning when is a good time to run the ball, kind of, when to protect yourself, when you got to go get those extra couple yards.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something not a lot of people think about, but it's definitely a skill that if you have it, it can be very useful.
Yeah, I feel like the more obstacles you give the defense to stop, is you would rather have someone with a bigger arsenal than a smaller arsenal. I feel like that is how I would describe it.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned DJ Riles. I know DJ Riles and Kahlo, both quarterbacks at MTSU, have now transferred, and they transferred to the same school, Georgia State. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, first off, love both of those kids. Since we've all been in the same quarterback room the last couple of years, just got to build really good relationships with them, outside of football, great friends that I'll have for a long, long time. And then, on the field, they're just two competitors, two guys that are uber talented, and they kind of have that work ethic, and they're both very special. I think Kyle has one of the best arms in the country, and no one even knows it just because he hasn't gotten to play all that much. But that kid's arm is special, and DJ can literally do anything on the field, whether it comes to throwing the football. And I still think if he has the ball in his hands and he's running at you, you're not getting him on the ground. He's one of the most dangerous kids with the ball. So I think if I'm Georgia State, I'm really excited that I'm getting both of those guys on my team in my locker room. Two great leaders, two guys that everyone's gonna love, and I think they're gonna go in there and make that team better. And that's what I think. If you're a coach, that's all you can ask for. So,
oh yeah,
and I'm super proud of both of them. Super proud of both of them. Everything they get or they've gotten, they deserve. So I'm glad to see they landed somewhere.
So to finish up some of your accolades, in 2021 you got Conference USA All Freshman Team, and you were named Bahamas Bowl Offensive MVP. And in this past year in 2023, you were named TSWA Offensive Player of the Week as well. So we got some awards going there.
yeah, it's been since that my true freshman year, the Bahamas Bowl, that was an experience for sure. That was a journey of a season. And then just kind of taking it day by day each year, and was able to do some good things this year. Hopefully always trying to improve, and just really look forward to next season and see what we have as a team and go out there and we just can. Only thing we can do is compete and put a good showing on the field, and I think we'll be all right.
So getting into some of the questions here, what were your thoughts about spring ball?
Oh, I thought spring ball went very well. I think we had for having an entire new staff, a lot of new players. You have a new offensive scheme, a new defensive scheme. I thought everyone did a really good job of just, accepting and learning and really applying it to the field. We did so much learning because everything was so new that, I'm sure there was mistakes, and there was probably more mistakes than anyone would have wanted, but that's just part of learning. And, I thought that we gelled really, really well together as a team. And I thought it went well, and it's only going to keep getting better as we keep working. Coming up when summer workouts start, and as we move into camp, I'm really excited. I think what we have is going to be special, and just got to keep going day by day. And we're still learning. We're still learning. Like it's a process, and I think what you get out is what you put in, and so I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will start to see what MTSU is kind of building up here in the next few years. I'm really excited for Coach Derek Mason and really excited for the whole team. So I'm this next season is going to be real fun to watch.
Yeah, big time. I'm very excited too. I think what Coach Mason's brought to the table is second to none. I mean, just his leadership as a person and as a football coach has been really special, and I think it's helped everyone kind of get on track and get on board with where we want to go. So I couldn't, a lot of high praise for him right there.
Mm-hmm. So at the post game conference, what were you thinking when you walked in and saw me?
I was really, I was locked in with. I was interested to see what you were gonna ask, and it was my first time seeing you in there. So I was like, we got a new face in here.
Smaller face.
Just a little bit smaller. Seeing you standing there in the back, I was almost, I didn't, I didn't know if you were gonna have to stand up and ask a question. I didn't want you to have to be caught behind Cecil back there. I know Cecil's in the front. I didn't want you to have to not be able to be seen or anything. But, listen. Are you gonna be able? Are you gonna be covering all of our games this year?
So apparently, I'm trying to reach. So how I got in. This is a long story. We'll start from that. To answer your question off the bat, though, apparently I'm supposedly supposed to be doing all home games. So hopefully we can keep that going. So yeah, I think we're just trying to finalize some stuff here. So, but yeah, that'll be awesome for sure. So
I love to hear that.
So I had emailed who is it? Chris Mazzaro the day that Derek Mason got hired. And I was telling him, I was like, is there any way I could get on the field or just anything, just kind of get your head in the door almost? And I completely forgot about it. And 2 months, probably 2 months later, as we're on our way to Florida actually to go see family, I'm looking at my emails because what else do you do when you're on a long car ride? You get some stuff done. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, they want to call me, so they ended up. And I was honestly shocked. I was like, they're probably not gonna look at it, but I'd rather take the chance to not, because what do I have to lose at this point? So, and he ended up forwarding it to Mark Owens, who I think he's like he does a lot of communication stuff, and somehow we decided, how about we try you out the spring game? Tried out the spring game, said I did pretty good, which I think I did decent for first time. And he was like,
you did a good job, dude.
And he said, "We'll try to get you on at every home game to do some stuff." So we're really pumped. The champ's pumped. Isaiah's pumped. Everybody should be pumped here.
Good, man. No, I love to hear it. I thought you did an awesome job at the spring game.
Thank you. Why Middle Tennessee State University? Why choose MTSU over all these other schools?
Yeah, I think when, obviously, like I said, going in my junior year, the tail end of my junior year is when COVID happened, and that kind of threw off recruiting for everyone, not just me, for everyone. And, it kind of really transitioned into just being like phone calls and FaceTimes because you couldn't take any visits.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when I was getting recruited, I was on the phone a lot with Coach Stock, and I think his leadership and him as a man, who I just, I have the utmost respect for him, for Coach Stock still as a person and as a football coach. And, I think the relationship that we were able to build is really what attracted me to MTSU. And, I would never, ever, ever go back and change this thing I did. And I think, now that Coach Mason's our head coach, I have the most trust in him. And I think, he has a lot of great qualities that you look for in a head coach. And even as a man, like, I think, he's a great role model and someone to look up to. And so I think that, even though I really do believe like Coach Stock is what brought me to MTSU, like I have faith in Coach Mason and, everything we're doing now. And I think the rest of the team feels the same way. And so I think, even though it's going to be new for everyone, new staff, it's a ton of new players, I think, people will really appreciate like the product we put on the field.
Was there a school you almost committed to instead of MTSU?
I mean, I think when it came down to it, honestly, the schools I was talking to most I think I committed to MTSU early September of 2021, or no, of 2020. And I was talking a lot with Ohio, with Miami, Ohio at the time, FIU a little bit still. So I think those schools were really the schools I was kind of like honing in on as being like a top four, you could say. I remember early on in my recruitment, I was getting recruited by Cincinnati by Coach Chino. He was the quarterbacks coach there at the time, and I really liked them a lot. It was just so early in my recruitment, I wasn't really comfortable with committing yet. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't go back and change anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no regrets about it all. I loved what my decision was at the time, and everything I've experienced since. I've really enjoyed it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
When did you start playing football?
Oh, I was probably around 5. I was probably around 5 or 6 when I started playing football. Started out flag, and then when I was 6 or 7, I think was my first year playing tackle, peewee football, and yeah, haven't looked back since.
And you grew up in Florida for your whole life until you moved over to MT?
Yeah, I was born in Philadelphia. I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then when I was around a year old, moved down to South Florida, and then was in South Florida all the way up until moving to Murfreesboro to start college.
Gotcha. So I know you wore number 18 for at least a year or two, and then you switched over to number 11. Why number 11?
I mean, number 11's been my number. I mean, up until I wore 18 my freshman year, I always wore number 11. And there's not really any special meaning behind it. I remember my first year playing Pee Wee football. Coach said, "Hey, Nick, these are," I think it was like 3 different numbers. It was like 11, 17, and then there was another number, and I said, "I'll pick 11." And it just, my entire football career, I've been able to wear number 11, and it does kind of hold a place in my heart. I understood coming in as a freshman, though I didn't get to pick my number. So I had number 18 for my freshman year, but I thought was pretty cool was Coach Stock knew that I wanted number 11. So, we won the Bahamas Bowl. Because we went to a bowl game, like we didn't have any exit meetings or anything like that. Everyone went home for winter break, and then we all came back in January, and I didn't even have a conversation, and coach had already changed my number to 11. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. When I remember when I came in and saw that I was, number 11, that felt pretty good, knowing I had my number back. So,
who had number 11 while you weren't able to get it?
There was a senior running back we had. His name was Brad Anderson. He was a baller, and he had number 11. So I wasn't, no shot some freshman was going to come in and take a senior's number. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I've heard some big asking prices for certain numbers. I know Zeke Rankin has gotten, I think he said someone offered him like 500 for number 7. So some big numbers
really?
for, I think, and then one person was like, just name a price. So some people really care about numbers apparently.
I mean, I definitely, if someone, I wouldn't give number 11 for any amount of money, but at the same time, I don't know if I would pay to have number 11. So that's kind of, I don't know, I feel like, although I've never been in that situation. So, but, I wonder, I'm going to have to call Zeke after this because I didn't even know about that.
Well, apparently.
I'll have to call Zeke. I'll fact check that for you because I don't think he changed his number, so he might have declined that 500.
Yeah, I know. He declined it. He definitely declined it. He's still wearing it. But yeah, some crazy asking prices for. I've heard a lot of NFL stories of people wanting certain numbers. Like they'll give people cars. It's insane what people will do with a number on their back.
And I know sometimes like they'll. I forget. I feel like it happened with someone recently this offseason. Like when guys want to change their number, the NFL makes them buy all of like their merchandise with their numbers on it. Because like they already make it, and I'm like, there's no way I'm like it might have been like Kyle Pitts or something with the Falcons. Like he would have had to buy like all of his jerseys.
Dude, that's like nuts.
Thousands of dollars. Yeah,
that's a little overkill.
Yeah, that's a little much for me.
How hard is it to get recruited as a quarterback, and what differences do you think are in that compared to other positions?
I'd say when it comes to differences, obviously only one quarterback plays at a time. There's only one quarterback on the field, and I think that's different because, when you look at offensive linemen, there's 5 linemen on the field. There's 4 receivers for them. Most teams, I feel like these days have 4 receivers on the field, 3 or 4 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 DBs, you got 2 safeties, you got 4 D linemen. So like other positions, there's just more spots available on a team. And I think, that just makes it, when you look at it numbers wise, there's more, there's less spots when it comes to quarterbacks on a team, right?
Yeah.
So it's, it's a competitive thing. And I think, when you're getting recruited, you got to understand, like, you can only control the things you can control. And that's just the work you put in and how you perform on the field. Outside of that, you can't control anything else. You can't control who recruits you, when they recruit you, anything like that. So you just got to make the most of the opportunities you're given. And, I think I was very fortunate. I had great high school coaches. I was able to play with great high school teammates. I was able to have a good high school career, and, I was fortunate enough to be able to get recruited at the Division I level, which is something I dreamed of as a kid. And so that was one goal I was able to check off my list. But yeah, like I said, like when it comes to differences, I would just say it's kind of like the numbers, just because there's not as many quarterbacks compared to other positions that you'll carry on a team. In college, like you maybe carry 3 to 4 scholarship quarterbacks. So yeah, compared to other positions, it's just not that many. So that's just a difference or a challenge, I guess you can say.
Oh yeah. With you talking about Coach Stocks, you're now playing under Coach Derek Mason. How excited are you for your first college football season season under Coach Derek Mason?
Super excited. I think from the time that Coach Mason got hired, he's come in with a lot of energy, leadership. He has a clear vision in mind of what he wants his team to be about. And I think, like I was saying, he's done a great job of getting everyone on board with what that mission and what that goal is. And, it started in the spring. And like I said, I thought we had a good spring, and I think it's going to continue. And, I know it's only still May, but you know how it goes. Week 1 is going to be here before we know it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people, a lot of MTSU fans are going to be super excited about, what they see and what that product on the field is. And I'm super excited. Like I said, though, Coach Mason and the staff he put together have done a great job so far. And, I think it's going to take a lot of hard work, but that's what it is. That's how you get results in this kind of business. Is you just got to put in the work, and that's all you can do. And Coach Mason is a great leader, and he'll have us on the right path. So I'm super excited.
What is something Coach Derek Mason has said to you that's really stuck with you?
I think personally, from the jump, from when he got hired, like, he made it clear that he wanted me to be a part of the team. And, obviously, because, like, you got to understand, like, college football is a business.
Yeah.
And, you got to do what you got to do in order to be successful. And I think, like, you see it all the time. Like, you have coaching changes, especially when it's a whole new staff. That's a really big change. And like I said, we're going to have a lot of new faces. But, I think I was able to talk to Coach Mason very early on. And, he made it clear that I was wanted, and I told him, I'm like, listen, Coach, I want to be here. And so I think we've always, we started off on the right foot, and we've been able to build a really good relationship. And so, like I said, like, outside of football as a person, I think he's a great man, and, he's been a great football mind to be around, even in the short amount of time we've had together during spring ball. So, a lot of respect and a lot of trust in him. And like I just said, I'm excited about everything we have going on right now.
So with the transfer portal being really big here, with new coach Derek Mason coming in, a lot of players see those opportunities come in and they dip. Why do you stay with some of your teammates, some of your key teammates like Gallo, a lot of those guys leaving? Why do you stay? What makes you stay MTSU?
Yeah, I think, first off, I think, I committed to MTSU, and I wanted to be able to give my all to MTSU. And, even though that a coaching change did happen, I think, like, that still holds true. Like, MTSU gave me the opportunity to come and play football, and, I want to follow through and be able to give back and be able to be successful at MTSU. And then I think, like I said before, I think when it came down to when we hired a new head coach, finding out who it was and finding out it was Coach Mason, and then just having conversations with him. And it's like, what kind of staff was he going to bring in, who the new OC was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up bringing in Coach Reeder, and Coach Reeder's been amazing. Coach Reeder is a great person, a great football mind, like, knows so much about the game, has taught me so much already about the game of football. And, like I said, they made me feel wanted. They made me feel like, we're gonna do a lot of good things. And so, I had the most trust in them that I was gonna stay and that we were gonna do it together.
Yeah.
And we were gonna be in it together, and we were gonna get this ship sailing, and we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna work hard, and we're gonna put the best show on the field that we can, and we're gonna go out there and do our thing. So, I think it just came down to having a lot of trust in Coach Mason and the rest of the staff that he put together. And, just knowing that we were going to go in and work and do it together.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about teammates a little earlier. What are some of your key teammates you can point out that have been through MTSU, or even here currently? What are some of your key teammates that you can really point out and say, like, those are some of my guys for life? I know you probably, especially as a quarterback, I'm sure you love a lot of your teammates, but some of those key teammates down to, like, very detail.
Yeah, I think right off the bat, I would say Chase Cunningham, who was, he was a quarterback my first 2 years. He, from the moment I came in, like he brought me in. He kind of showed me how things go, the right way to go about things. And we just kind of created this really good friendship, and that's kind of something I know that I'll always have. And I think I've been fortunate enough to always be in a great quarterback room, and I think the quarterback rooms that I've had the first 3 years of being in college football have been amazing, and those are just guys that I'll talk to for the rest of my life. But I definitely say Chase, just because he kind of, when I was first coming in, he kind of showed me the right way to do things, and then we built this really good bond together. And we were, my freshman and sophomore year when Chase was on the team still, we would always be just helping each other communicate and whatnot about what was going on throughout games, and even outside of football, when you could just hang out and not even have to worry about football, it goes a long way. And I think that's something that you can't even in the moment you don't even realize how good it is, so don't take it for granted kind of thing. But he's one that I'll always have a good friend in him, and I appreciate him a lot.
That's funny you say Chase Cunningham, because literally the next question was, has there been a quarterback that's taken you under his wing and taught you the ropes? So it sounds like Chase Cunningham has kind of been that guy.
Yeah, Chase is the man. I mean, what everything he went throughout his college career, starting as a walk-on, earning a scholarship, and my true freshman year was the year that he ended up kind of a couple games into the season, he ended up winning the starting job. He's balling out. Unfortunately, gets hurt, and that's when I came in, and we go to the Bahamas Bowl and we win that.
Wow.
Chase comes back the next year and he recovers from his injury. He plays the entire season, has a great season, leads us to a Hawaii Bowl victory. And that those 2 years, just doing it together, I wouldn't trade any of that for the world. Yeah, that kid's amazing.
Do you know what Chase is doing now?
I want to say he's just been. I know he was helping out coach back at his high school, or back at his brother's high school, back home in Knoxville. I think Knoxville is where he's from. So I mean, just staying around, helping out. I know he came to a couple games this past year, so it was good to see him and catch up and everything. So see him from time to time, which is nice.
And who's the quarterback coach at MTSU?
It's also Coach Reeder. Coach Reeder's the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach. So
okay,
we spend a lot of our time, basically all of our time, with him, and just getting to know him and everything. And like I said, how much he's been able to teach us about football, I think has been really nice, and just kind of build that relationship. And we'll continue to do so, and hopefully it translates into a lot of success on the offensive side of the ball.
And there was a different QB coach before that, correct?
Yeah, the last 2 years it was Brent Stockstill.
Okay, and did he play on MTSU at quarterback?
Yeah, Brent played at MTSU, I want to say, for 4 or 5 years maybe. I believe his last year was 2018. Mm-hmm. His last year playing was 2018, and yeah, he taught me so much about what it meant to be a quarterback, and not even just how to be a good person. And I think he really was able to elevate my game in the 2 years he was coaching quarterbacks. And he's definitely someone I look up to as a role model, both when it comes to football or outside of football. I look up to him, and I think that's someone who I created such a good relationship with, who means so much to me and has attributed so much to the success I've been able to have at this level. So I can't appreciate him enough too.
And that's Coach Stock's son, correct?
Yeah, mm-hmm. It is.
So I was playing NCAA like any other kid, and I was like, man, I wonder if that's his son. And I looked him up on Instagram. I'm like, wow, he's QB coaching, and obviously now it's changed. Do you know what he's doing now?
Yeah, he's actually I don't know his exact title, but he's like a defensive analyst with the Indianapolis Colts in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So super happy for him. I know coaching in the NFL is something he's always wanted to do. So now him being able to do that is just like awesome. Like so happy for him, and I know he's enjoying it so much and having a great time doing it.
Yeah, that's a huge jump. That's a great jump for sure for him.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I was talking to Roman Gagliano a few days ago, actually doing a podcast, and I asked him the same question that I was going to ask you before, Chase, and he actually said that you've kind of taken him under your wing. How has that been?
Man, I love Roman so much. Him coming in this semester as like an early enrollee. I mean, he didn't turn 18 until like 3 weeks into spring ball. So this kid's like fresh out of high school. But yeah, I mean, I love Roman. That kid's so talented, and he's such a good guy to be around. Like he's always positive. He's always smiling. He's always making jokes. Always keeping things light, making sure everyone else is good. But yeah, I think like how Chase kind of was able to bring me under his wing. Like I've been trying to able to just kind of like bring Roman under mine and like just kind of be there for Roman for whatever he needs and like show him the right way to do things and help out where I can and such. And but he's so smart and so gifted when it comes to football and even outside of football. Like I think he's so mature for his age and everything, and just a great kid to be around. I love him. I'm so happy that he's a part of our quarterback room, and yeah, he's one hell of a kid.
Oh yeah, what was it like to get your first college offer? How did that all go down?
It was definitely exciting. I remember that it really was not anything special. I remember I think I was a freshman. It was the spring of my freshman year in college, in high school. So like we're going through spring ball or whatever. I would have been going into my sophomore year, and I remember my coach just texted me and was like, "Hey, like UAB offered you," and so I was just like, like that's your dream of like when you're growing up, you want to be able to get recruited, and to receive my first Division I offer was it's definitely something I'll always remember. Great feeling, knowing that your hard work is being appreciated and that it's paying off. It was definitely fun.
So you were starting as a freshman?
No, I actually didn't start my freshman year. I started one game. I played in a couple others, but we had a senior quarterback who started my freshman year. But he sprained his ankle, I want to say. So I ended up starting one game, and then I would get some play time here and there. But I started like as a true starter my sophomore year of high school.
So UAB offered you off of like bench playing, is what it sounds like. Wow.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure the rule still is like college coaches can't necessarily, really talk to a high school kid until September 1st or something of their junior year. So I mean, it was kind of just something where like I'm sure the UAB coaches kind of liked me and wanted to keep me on their radar. So they just told my coach like, hey, like we'll offer this kid. But yeah, I mean, still something that's I'll always remember and I'll always be appreciative of. So it's pretty cool.
So if you playing at MTSU, what does a day or week in the life of an MTSU quarterback look like?
A lot of schoolwork and a lot of lifting and a lot of meetings.
Oh yeah, Coach Blotnick got you guys lifting.
Man, Coach Blotnick is something else. That guy knows what he's doing. We get after it in the weight room, and but it's like he creates an environment where guys want to come in and want to get better. And like I said, like Coach Mason just built a staff that is really good, and I think Coach Blotnick is someone who like you spend so much time with the strength coaches, and Coach Blotnick's done a great job of like just really getting us in the weight room, working hard, doing what we need to be doing. And I thought we had a great winter workout session and a great spring. And I know we're gonna get after it in the summer, but yeah, I mean it's nothing special, honestly. It's just you have your classes, you have your meetings, you have your weights, you practice, it's not nothing crazy being a quarterback, but it's just we're busy like any other my teammates or any other student athlete. So I love every part about it, though. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, yeah, with you having a busy schedule, we appreciate you coming on. So thank you very much as well.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Love everything that you're doing. Always following your stuff. So good luck with everything, and hope everything's going well. And looking forward to seeing you at those home games.
Oh yeah. If you don't make it to the NFL, I'm assuming that's the goal. Is there a plan B, maybe like the UFL or coaching, something like that you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to play for as long as I can. Obviously the main goal is the NFL. If it comes in other forms of maybe the UFL or something like that, then, I would love to explore all my options. I don't know about coaching yet. I know like there's guys who are like, yeah, I want to be a coach 100%. I don't know if I'm really at that point yet, but it's definitely a possibility. I don't ever want to say no to anything. So we'll kind of see what happens and, kind of just go with the flow and see how it all plays out.
We are super happy to announce we are now partners with The Boulevard. The Boulevard is so good here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee on 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard, guys. Absolutely amazing food. I was literally just there 2 days ago. The Boulevard is so good, and they support MTSU as they're literally like in walking distance from there. They're right on basically MTSU's campus. It is so good. If you guys want to call into the Boulevard, it's 615-624-8002. And if you guys want the address, it's 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Guys, make sure you go check out the Boulevard. They have some absolutely great service too. Love the staff there. The staff there is amazing. And the food is even better. Guys, make sure you go check them out. They are a bar and grill here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The Boulevard at 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Once again, that's 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard. And the number is 615-624-8002. Once again, that's 615-624-8002. Thank you so much, The Boulevard. All right, getting some of the rapid fire questions. You can answer these as quick as possible. You can answer these, expand on them, whatever you want to do. But these questions are presented to you by Brunch and Brew. Get your brunch and brew here in Murfreesboro. We have some Instagram questions here. This is from Corin Meyer. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, guys. Do Cheez-Its actually make you a better football player?
Yes, they do. Cheez-Its are the best snack on planet Earth.
What, are we getting regular Cheez-Its?
It has to be the original. And if they're not the original, then you don't have a place to talk. I'm sorry. The extra people who do the extra toasty or the white cheddar, I don't know. I don't know if I could get on board with that. I'm just an original Cheez-It kind of guy.
Are you living on campus at MTSU, I'm assuming?
I live 5 minutes off campus. So
Got you.
It's close.
So you're living in like an apartment with some teammates, I'm guessing?
Yeah, two of my roommates.
What roommates we've got?
So my one roommate is Mitch Howell. He's a wide receiver on the team, and then my other roommate, his name's Caden Williams. He played tight end our first 2 years, and then he's actually done playing now. He's working and has a job, but both great dudes, love them to death. Love living with them. Just been able to, kind of create best friends in that. So I love them.
Are you looking for a Cheez-Its NIL deal?
If Cheez-Its reached out to me for an NIL deal, I would not say no. I would not say no. I promise you that.
Speaking of NIL deals, I guess this is an NIL deal here. The Boulevard. I know you're partners with them now.
Love the Boulevard. Yeah, we've been partners for coming up on a year now, kind of. I want to say. I think we started last August maybe. But yeah, love the people over at the Boulevard. They're great people over there. Great food, always a good time when you go in there. Great service. Yeah, love the Boulevard though. They're the best, and definitely one of the better places in Murfreesboro if you're looking to get something to eat.
Oh yeah, with NIL kind of making a splash here. How does that all work? Do you reach out to the Boulevard, or does the Boulevard work out to you? How'd that all go down?
So specifically with the Boulevard, they reached out to me and they were able to, like, we just going back and forth a little bit. We set up a meeting. I met with them and they offered me a deal and I agreed to it. And it's been a great partnership ever since. But I mean, I know guys who reach out to certain places, seeing if they want to do a deal. Well, however small or big it is. So it can go both ways. You can reach out, or a company or something like that can reach out to you, and you guys figure it all out. And if the deal works for both parties, you go ahead and.
Oh, I think we lost you. Might take a second again. You still there, Nick?
Can you hear me, Isaac?
Okay, we're back. There we go.
Oh, we're back. Cool. All right, sorry. Where did I cut out at?
I have no idea. Something deal.
I think I was just saying, like, you can reach out to companies or companies can reach out to you. And, if you guys get a deal, agreed upon, then you could go ahead and sign it. And, I think it's good opportunities for everyone involved.
What type of stuff do you get out of the Boulevard with the deal?
So basically, they give me I have like a gift card that they reload every week. So they reload like $25 every week on the gift card, and I could go in there and I could get a meal. Or if me and a friend want to go in there, like, I'll try to pay for as much as their meal as I can. And then, it's nothing crazy. It's not like these 5 million NIL deals that you see with guys at bigger schools. But listen, like, what they do is more than enough. And I love the people over there. So they've definitely been great. And I'm glad I can be an NIL partner with them. So.
Well, we may not be NIL, but we are partners. We did not agree on a deal or anything, but we do post them. So.
I saw that. We have that in common.
Oh yeah, great minds think alike here. And also, the Boulevard commented the goat emoji. So. Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, they're the best. There's good people over there and good food too. So.
What do you get at the Boulevard?
Usually I get wings. Sometimes, like, if I ever want to mix it up, I'll get one of their burgers. But it's funny. It's kind of gotten to the point now where, like, I'll go in and I'll say, hey, and, like, before I even, like, ask, like, or before I even tell them what I want to order, they're kind of just like 10 wings and a side of fries again, and I'm just kind of look at them and laugh and be like, yeah. But yeah, sometimes I try to mix it up. Sometimes I'll get like their chicken Caesar wrap, but for the most part, I always get.
What type of sauce do you get on the wings? Oh, I think we lost Nick again. The food's really getting to him.
Can you hear me or no?
All right, we're back.
Okay. I'm a classic buffalo wing sauce kind of guy.
Buffalo.
So, yeah, love buffalo. Love anything spicy.
Favorite NFL team?
Buffalo Bills.
All right, Buffalo Wings and Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
How did we become a Bills fan?
My dad is a Bills fan, so he kind of passed that along to me, and ever since I can remember, we've been Bills fans and we watch Bills games together.
How did your dad become a Bills fan?
He's from Long Island, so he's from New York and not a fan of the Jets or the Giants. His favorite player growing up was Thurman Thomas, so Thurman Thomas is obviously a legendary Bill, and so he passed that down to me.
I know you've got a busy schedule, but do you play video games at all?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I play Call of Duty, I play FIFA, and I play F1 with two of my best friends from back home.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
There we go! Boom! Everybody that was doubting us that we would never get an Xbox person on here ever again. We got y'all.
I'm glad I could be one of your Xbox supporters.
Oh yeah. You have to get an NIL deal right there.
They might be a little outside of my range at the moment. Maybe one day.
I'm sure Ethan has their number. No, there's no telling how many numbers that man has.
True.
Are you excited for the new NCAA football game?
Oh, super excited. I don't know one person who isn't excited for that game.
Oh yeah. Have you opted into the game?
Yeah, I did opt in, so I'm looking forward to that.
What is your projected rating? What are you projecting?
If I'm trying to be realistic here, Isaiah. So if I am anything above a 70 overall, I will be happy.
No, dude, they're gonna at least put you in the 80s. I guarantee you. I guarantee. If they put you below 80, I'm gonna be upset.
If I'm above an 80, I will send you a picture with the biggest smile on my face.
Okay, and we'll post it. Hashtag you just get rated above 80 overall in NCAA.
Yeah, perfect.
You know what Roman projected his? My man said 60. And that was like, I was like, not 60. Dude.
No. Roman's a character. He's one of the funniest kids I've met.
Yeah, I don't know about 60. 60, that might be a opt out of the game. Might opt.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm gonna have to do my MTSU dynasty, and if you throw an interception, Nick, I'm gonna call you and tell you to play better. I told Roman that too. So
as you should. Honestly, I can't be throwing interceptions. You know what I mean?
I'll send you the stat line.
I appreciate that.
And if you guys want to see me stream NCAA, go check out my Twitch, y'all. Isaiah J. Davis. Check it out. We try to stream every day on the weekdays, so check it out. We'll be streaming NCAA and possibly an MTSU dynasty here with the very own Nick Vattiato at quarterback. So yeah, we'll have to run up a game here soon, for sure.
I would love that. We can definitely make that happen.
Oh yeah, send me your gamer tag after this.
Sounds like a plan.
If you weren't playing quarterback, what position would you want to play?
Ooh, I would love to play like safety.
Really?
Yeah, I would love it.
So we're just kind of swapping sides here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit. I just think it's such like a, I think when you look at the defensive side of the ball, obviously, I know you have like your linebackers who have to know a lot, but I think safety is like just being back there, like seeing the entire play kind of play out and being able to react and make different reads. I don't know, it's just something about it. I think I would like and enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Favorite college football team besides Middle Tennessee State University?
I never really had one growing up. Like, I didn't have a college football team I loved growing up. So, I mean, I don't know.
Buffalo Bulls?
No, I mean, shout out my sister. She's a senior in high school. She's going to NC State for college. So,
Wolfpack?
I'm not really a fan of NC State, but shout out my sister because, she's going there. So happy for her. So I guess that could be my answer for that.
My sister is going to Chattanooga, so I guess I'm gonna have to be a Mox fan for the next 4 years, other than MTSU.
Fair.
Favorite stadium you've ever played in?
Bryant-Denny by far.
Oh yeah, and you got a really good picture there, right in front of Nick Saban. You running?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite pictures of me ever playing football for sure. That was really cool.
Did Nick Saban come up to you at all?
No. Coach, I'm sure Coach Saban had more important things to do.
What was the hardest player to play against on Bama?
I mean, they're all so talented. Obviously their DBs and their linebackers are amazing, but I think Dallas Turner, obviously, what a specimen. Funny enough, I grew up with Dallas, playing football with Dallas Turner. We played together on the same team it was called FBU, and it was like a national tournament, and Dallas didn't even play D-line at the time. So the fact, like, Dallas he was just drafted in the first round of the NFL, going to play for Minnesota. Super happy to see all the success he's had playing at Alabama, and now hopefully going to do great things in the NFL. But yeah, that kid's a baller. Mm-hmm. I mean, not many people can block him coming off the edge.
Did Dallas sack you at all?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, to be fair, in high school he got me a couple times, but I don't really know if he actually got a sack when he played them last year. He might have, but I don't know if he did.
And he's on the edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He played. He was number 15 for Alabama. He was an edge rusher and just got drafted by the Vikings. So proud of him.
So whoever our right tackle and left tackle were that day, they need a pay raise, coach. we need a pay raise for them.
Yeah. No, they O-line did amazing. I mean, listen, that Bama team was something special. Just getting to play those guys, like, they're really good, and all the success they had last year was definitely well deserved. So they were a good team.
Do you listen to pregame music at all?
A little bit, nothing crazy. I like listening to some EDM music.
Got you. Is there a favorite snack to eat before the game? Cheez-Its?
No Cheez-Its before the game. I don't really like to eat a ton. Maybe like something light. I keep it light. Maybe like a banana. Try to hydrate as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
If it's in the U.S., I would say South Florida because I just love everything about it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you can beat it. Everything like the weather, the atmosphere, the environment. It's amazing. I love being by the beach. I think that's, just one of the most beautiful places. And yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love being down here. Love being able to come back home and everything.
Oh, yeah. Most famous person in your contacts?
Most famous person?
If you want to check, you can.
Yeah, let me check real quick. I mean, it's probably it's all people football related.
Yeah, that's famous.
I'd probably say. So, do you remember Ricardo Lewis? He was the receiver. He went to Auburn. He played in the NFL for a little bit. He went to Auburn and he caught that crazy 4th and 28 Hail Mary that Nick Marshall threw against Georgia, I think.
No, I thought you were about to mention the kickoff thing.
Where... Oh no, not the kickoff. But when you get a chance, he caught the. It was 4th and 28, and Auburn ended up beating. Georgia, I want to say. So probably him, or I guess I could say Zay Flowers because Zay Flowers just had a great rookie year for the Ravens. So I'd say either one of them.
How did we get Ricardo's number?
So he played for the same, back when he was in high school, he played for the same 7-on-7 team that I played for when I was in high school called South Florida Express.
Uh-huh.
And they, former guys who played on the team would always come back and they would, just be able to come out to practices and they would talk to the guys who were currently playing and everything like that. And I met him, and then I was fortunate enough to throw with him a couple times, and I got to throw to him a couple times in some of his training sessions. So that's how I was able to get his number.
Well, if you can reach out to Zay or Ricardo, anybody who wants to come on the podcast, please do. We're always looking for big names to come on the podcast for sure. And if you guys have a player who wants to come on the podcast, tell them to reach out to us or tell us to reach out to them. It'd be easier if you guys could reach out to us. So yeah, we're always looking for new people. This podcast probably won't even come out until there's 11 or 12 episodes ahead of it. So we got and a lot of them are MTSU players. So that's always good. But yeah, if you guys want to reach out to players, please tell them. Go follow Champ Pod as well on Instagram, y'all. Favorite food place? I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory.
Favorite food place in Murfreesboro? The Boulevard, easily.
Outside of the Murfreesboro, what are we going with?
Outside of Murfreesboro? Oh. Man. You just put me on the spot right here. It was bad. Any place, honestly, I love seafood, being part of also when I get to come back home, I get to have great seafood. So I love having conch and conch fritters and conch salad. So I'd say any place where I could get good conch fritters and conch salad, I would go with that.
Favorite movie?
Man, there's so many. Probably Interstellar, maybe.
Interstellar. My dad likes Interstellar.
Yeah,
it sounds pretty good. Well, that kind of wraps up the podcast. Nick, thank you so much for coming on. If you want to shout out your Instagram or your socials, shout it all out right now.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram is at NWV_11. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on. I enjoyed it. And, you guys keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job. And, thank you again for having me.
Oh, yeah. If you ever want to come on again, just reach out to us. I'm sure we'll see you at some MTSU games. Guys, come out and support your boy Nick here at these MTSU games. Starting quarterback at MTSU. You're going to have a great season. I'm super pumped to see what you do from the sidelines this year. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. And I'm glad you're going to be on the sidelines for it. I'm super pumped for that.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Once again, if you ever want to come on, just reach out to us. Thank you so much. Any final words?
No. Go Blue. Go Blue Raiders.
Thanks so much. Thank you guys so much for listening. We the champs. Peace.